everyone. Okay. Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm excited to do, I'm going to be ranking all of the products that I was trying out in the month of September. This is my monthly ranking series that I do every single month, and I rank all of the products that I have been testing out from my least favorite to my top favorite, bringing you my reviews. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, welcome. So I do always start with an outfit of the day. So today I have on mostly just an Amazon outfit. I got both the skirt and the like sweater vest here from Amazon, and I just have on some flip-flops because I'm just chilling at home right now. But I purchased some new like fall fashion from Amazon, so I've had a couple of my packages come in. So I got this sweater vest. I feel like that's kind of a fall staple. I have one in brown, now I have one in black. I did just finish filming this makeup look, and if you're like, Samantha, this is actually a full face of makeup I regret buying. So not my favorite products on my face right now. I was saying in that video, I will have it linked up in the cards, that some of the products that I'm using, I don't think they look bad when you first apply them, but they don't like wear well over time. But I've already been scraping at my under eyes because this mascara is going everywhere. So now my concealer is doing funny things. I'm just like, here we go. New to my channel, welcome. I hope that you will subscribe and stick around. I post content every single day on YouTube. I'm a mostly beauty focused channel, but I do also like to talk about books, beauty, around the home, vlogs. Normally in my makeup monthly video, I do also do book reviews because I am also a book blogger. I'm a self-published author of 8. My makeup monthly series was where I was including the 5-star books that I read the month prior, but I have actually started a series on my channel. I've done it for 2 months now, where I just review all of the books that I read that month. So it doesn't matter if they're 5 stars. I just tell you about every single book that I've read. So that is already up for the month of September if you want to check those out. So those are no longer going to be included in part of this video, but I really wanted to bring in more than just beauty content on my channel, and I really wanted to bring books back. That's actually how I started my entire career on social media, but also my YouTube channel started as a book channel. With that being said though, let's go ahead and jump into the rankings. I have 11 products. Yes, 11 products I'm going to be ranking. And at the bottom, I have this powder foundation from BareMinerals. I've been trying this out for like a handful of minutes now, and I just don't love this. This is their Bare Pro 16-hour skin perfecting powder foundation. I was sent the shade Light 22 Neutral. This retails for $35, and it was one of those that I was very excited for. When I tried it out, I went in with like really high hopes. I don't use BareMinerals a ton. It's not a brand that I feel like I'm overly familiar with or have a lot in my collection, but I do like a powder foundation. I love the Dior Powder No Powder. And recently I feel like I've been moving away from liquid foundations and doing more just concealer and powder. So was excited to try this out. I do have dry skin, and I feel like for dry skin, this is not going to be the best powder for you. At least that was my experience. I feel like it really emphasized my dry skin. It kind of showed all the areas where I have dry patches, like even just like around this area, sometimes around my nose, my chin can get some dry patches pretty bad, and it just kind of emphasized all of that. Sometimes I feel with dry skin and then I wear a product that does emphasize that. Let's not be playing a drinking game right now unless it's with water, so we stay hydrated. I feel like it ages me, and I'm in my mid-30s, so it's like I would prefer not to have that happen. So I just really do not reach for this. I just also feel like it's kind of a heavy feeling powder. It's just definitely not my favorite. I feel like the last few ranking videos that I've done, I've liked a lot of the products in there, and these, like the ones at the bottom, I'm just like, Speaking of, at number 10, I actually have the foundation that I used today, so it's in my full face of what I regret buying. This is from Lancome, and this is the Idole Ultra Wear the Care and Glow foundation. Like I said, I feel like I'm moving away from liquid foundations, so that could definitely play into it as well. I'm much preferring concealer powder, a tinted moisturizer, a BB or a CC cream, or just something really light coverage like the Dior Backstage Face and Body, something like that. With the Lancome, first of all, I was excited to try it because I loved the original Tint Idole, and since this one was supposed to give more of this like glowy radiant look, I thought that would be perfect with my dry skin. The fragrance on it is very intense. Like every time I apply it, it kind of makes me like wince a little bit because it's just so fragranced. I was gonna say fragmented. Who? I have the shade 330N. Again, it's what I have on today. One of those that when I first put it on and when I did my first impression for a YouTube video, I was like, this is really pretty and I'm very excited about this. And within a couple hours, it was breaking down on my skin. It went from looking more natural to definitely looking more dry and more matte, and it just feels heavier. Again, I'm kind of moving away from that. It just all around, when I first apply it, great. After a couple hours, I'm like, please take this foundation off of me. So I like doing this video. I actually do have plans tonight, and I'm like, I just wish I could wipe my foundation off because I know in a few hours it is just not going to be cute. So unfortunately, this was one that I was really excited for. I ran out to Sephora and bought it, and I just, after today, I don't see us really going on any more dates, makeup dates, filming dates, you know? So get out. Those are the two products that I really don't enjoy from this month. Next up, we have kind of like my fine category. When I used to do my makeup monthly series, I had my favorites, my fails, and then just that kind of like middle ground fine category. And at number 9, I have from Urban Decay, and this is their, what is the proper name? The liquid lip color. I feel like it has more of a name than that, but these are the fairly new releases from Urban Decay of their liquid lips. And I was saying that it was interesting. I do my new makeup releases series every single Wednesday. It's funny because for a while there, we had quite a few brands releasing liquid lipsticks, and I was like, wow, I think liquid lipsticks are making a comeback. And Urban Decay was one of the first of these. This got a lot of hype and a lot of attention online because it is a very long wearing lipstick. A lot of times liquid lipsticks are. And kind of the point with liquid lipsticks is they don't move. You don't get transfer with them. You know, I'm someone who wore liquid lips all of the time. I mean, every single time I was wearing lipstick, I was wearing a liquid lipstick because I knew that it would stay. I knew it wasn't going to transfer. And I loved that. And I've definitely moved away from that. I like more glosses these days. You know, I don't like the lipstick I have on today. It's from Natasha Denona if you haven't seen the video, but I definitely prefer like a more glossy lip these days, or just like my regular bullet lipstick. I've definitely moved away from the liquid lips. So I feel like that kind of plays into why I'm placing it more at the bottom, because it's not a bad product. It's just not anything that I'm like it's a liquid lipstick. It's not the most comfortable. It's not the most uncomfortable liquid lip. It's quite liquidy. You are supposed to shake them before you apply, and if you don't, not that it's streaky, but you can just tell, like, it's a very thin formula. You really do want to shake it up. If you're someone who, you know, still loves the liquid lipsticks, or you still want something that is going to be very, very long wearing, maybe you work at a job where you are required to wear a mask, that sort of thing, but you still want to wear lipstick, this would probably be a great option for you. Just for me personally, it's not my favorite, so that's why it came in at number 9. At number 8, another lip product that I have, this is from Kaja Beauty, and this is their Lost Shot. I have the shade Milk Tea. So I recently did a beauty battle video where I put two really similar products head to head with each other. I give the pros and cons, and then I choose a winner. And I did have in there this one from Kaja Beauty, and I had it up against the Tower 28 Jelly lip glosses, and I did choose the Tower 28. If you haven't seen the video, again, I will link it, but spoiler alert, I chose the Tower 28. It's not that I mind the Kaja Beauty, it's just more of that kind of goopier lip gloss formula that I don't love, and I feel like it can look a little bit heavier on my lips and kind of like, you know, kind of get into like the corners there of your lips. It's just like not the cutest when I reapply it. I'm kind of, I don't know if I want to say I'm like super particular when it comes to my lip glosses, but kind of, and I tend to go back to the same ones, and I like ones that are just more smooth and more lightweight. So the Kaja was just a little bit too thick for me. Pretty shade, but just a little too thick. At number 7, I have a bronzer, and I'm kind of sad I didn't love this more because I was really excited for it. This is from Colourpop, and this is their Super Shock bronzers. This is not a bad product, but because I am such a bronzer lover, that's one of my favorite steps in makeup. I love trying out new bronzers, but I definitely have my section of favorite bronzers and ones that I just always reach for. And you know, I'm a pretty busy gal, I would say. Even days that I'm not filming, I'm typically doing something with friends, or I'm out running errands, or just doing something. So there's a lot of times where I'm just like, oh, let me just, you know, slap a little makeup on real quick. The Colourpop bronzer, even though I've had it out, I've had it on my desk behind me, I try to keep some of the products that I'm actively reviewing out in front of me, because otherwise I have so much makeup, if I like start putting things away, I'll forget, and I'll forget what I'm like supposed to be testing out. So I've had it sitting out in front of me this whole time, and I'm like, you know, I'll reach for like the L'Oreal Fresh Wear is like definitely what's been my go-to right now. So I've been reaching for the other bronzers that I love more. Again, it's not like it's a bad product. So it's a Super Shock from Colourpop, which means they're a little bit on the creamier side, which actually means that's why I thought that I would really enjoy it. but it's one of those that I feel like because of the formula, I don't feel like it's as smooth and as natural. It's pretty, and I can definitely make it work. Using a dual fiber brush is usually going to be the best, or even like a damp sponge is, you know, pretty easy to apply these, and I feel like that way you can get a little bit more of a smoother finish, even though you have to build it up a little bit more. I use the shade I'll Bet, I-S-L-E, I'll Bet. Is the shade that I use, and I think that it's a pretty shade match for me. Again, it's not a bad product, it's just not going to become a favorite bronzer of mine, which is why it fell in the middle of this ranking video. I do have an affiliate code with Colourpop if there's anything that you want to pick up from them, whether you want to try out the bronzers or something else, and that code is MARCHBEAUTY. At number 6, I have a powder, and this is from Ciate London, and this is the Everyday Vacay Coconut Setting Powder. So say loose setting powder. Again, I'm still kind of in like the fine category here because I think that this is a fine powder and I use it quite a bit. I would say that right now I'm more into my pressed powders. I had a moment there where I was using loose powders more. My Milk Makeup, Sigma Beauty had come out with a new one. I was using that a lot. And I feel like it was kind of at the tail end of that I started trying the Ciate, and I was pretty much using this like every single time that I was doing my makeup. I'm like, hey, I really like this one. And then I was like, I think I might even go back to my pressed powders actually. So now I just don't use this the most, but I feel like I've gotten some good use out of it, even just for the little bit that I've had it. But it's not the most like finely milled. I know that we love that term when it comes to loose powders. So it's not like the most lightweight powder. It is also white, so I was a little bit worried about, you know, would I be getting flashback? Would it be a little bit harder, especially on the under eyes? Would it be really obvious that I was wearing a white powder? But I feel like it kind of settles into the skin nicely and just keeps things smooth. Not necessarily like an absolute standout powder to me, but I thought it was a nice one. At number 5 from Touch in Sol, I have a primer here. This is the No Poreblem Hybrid Primer, the extra pore covering top secret for perfect makeup. Okay, so I definitely have pores, you know, especially in this area, my forehead. I have skin, so I do have pores, which I understand when we like do makeup videos. People don't want to like see any pores, or they want to believe that we are poreless, and like I want to believe that we are poreless too, even though I know that that's not actually a fact. But I like to try out the pore smoothing or like the blurring primers and that sort of thing, and I think that this one does a pretty good job. I still have to say though, I feel like the e.l.f. Putty Primer, if I'm feeling like very self-conscious about my pores, you know, especially, then I typically end up reaching for the e.l.f. But this is a good option as well, and whereas that one is more of like that putty form, this one you have more of the liquid and you have a pump on here. When I use this one, I really do kind of focus on smoothing it in this area especially, and I feel like it's good. I feel like a lot of my foundations have sat well on top of it. I haven't had any problems with like longevity or my makeup breaking down or anything like that, but I don't think it's like earth-shattering. It wasn't like I put it on and my skin was erased. Like I still have pores. At number 4, it's so funny to me because I still feel like we're in the fine category. I feel like the majority of the products this month were like okay, and when I was getting to like 5, 4, 3, even like 2, I was like like I feel like they're all just kind of like, these are good. But at number 4, I have from Covergirl. This is their Simply Ageless Triple Action Concealer. So new concealer from Covergirl. I was excited to try it out. I like testing out concealers. This one has more of like that metal wand tip, so it's supposed to be kind of more cooling and depuffing. I've tried concealers that have this type of applicator as well, and like I appreciate that extra step. Like I'm someone who ice rolls my face in the morning, my neck, my jaw, all of that. So it's like I like that extra step while I'm doing my concealer, but I don't know if it really makes that much of a difference. And sometimes what I've also noticed with products like this, you can't really pick up a lot of products, so I tend to like dip back in, dip back in, dip back in. And sometimes it's just like, okay, like I just like want my concealer on so I can blend it out. Once I get past that, it's a good concealer. Again, is it gonna turn into my favorite? I don't think so, but it's decent. It has more of a, I would say like a light to medium coverage, and I don't know if it's because I just have such a hard time getting the right amount of product onto my face that I'm like, oh, I don't know if the coverage is there, versus if it had more of a regular wand that I'd feel like quicker with it. You know what I'm saying? But it makes the under eyes look smooth, like it doesn't pick up on any of my dry patches because I definitely have pretty dry under eyes, but it didn't blow me away. Like I have really been enjoying the Charlotte Tilbury Radiant Concealer. Again, I had that one in my last beauty battle, and that one just does something to the under eyes where it just makes them look more youthful and smooth, and just like I actually slept a decent amount of hours at night, and I just don't really feel that one with the Covergirl. It doesn't do anything like bad, it just doesn't make that much of a change. At number 3, I have another bronzer. This one is from Merit. So this is one, again, I feel like a lot of these products are in the fine category, and it's like, I feel like 3 is like obviously really high up there, like we're going for bronze here, but it's like, I don't love this one like that much. It just kind of has to be where it goes in the ranking video. But from Merit, this is their bronzer balm, and I have the shade Clay. I think that it's pretty. Okay, are we back to drinking our water? Like, as I'm repeating myself, like I think it's a fine bronzer. I think that it's smooth, but it's not one of those, like, I feel like I have to build it up a lot. I feel like when I do my makeup, I typically do like go through my base first, and then I do brows and eyes. And when I use the Merit bronzer balm, I notice that when I'm done with eyes, I'm like, I feel like I need to add more bronzer, and either more of the Merit or I need to add something on top. I feel like the shade is pretty good for me, maybe like slightly light, but I almost feel like it's one of those that it's such a smooth, lightweight formula, but when I blend it, it can kind of blend away a little bit, which I don't love, but it's very pretty. It's very easy to use, especially like, I don't nose contour a lot, but I feel like this is a nice one because it's very natural looking. That's what it is. It's a very natural looking bronzer, but sometimes it's almost like too natural. Like I need a little more, like today, I feel like you can barely see like my bronzer and blush because again, just not products that I love on my face right now. But it's like, it's not, I love bronzer. It's again, one of my favorite categories, but I do want it to look like I'm wearing bronzer. I really do. Like I just love it that much, but it's good. It's a nice product. At number 2, I feel like number 1 and number 2 are like so random, but like these are my favorites from the month. At number 2 from Charlotte Tilbury, it's a primer. This is the Broad Spectrum SPF 50 sunscreen, the Invisible UV Flawless Primer. I know, I think it's really random too, but I love it. Was it last month? Last month's Makeup Monthly that I spoke very highly of the Summer Fridays SPF. Look, I love SPF, okay? I've been thinking about doing microneedling. If anyone's have experience with microneedling, please let me know. But one of the places that I go to pretty frequently here in Vegas, they are now offering microneedling, and I just feel like I trust them a lot. So I was thinking about doing that, but it's like, it kind of like scares me a little bit at the same time. But when I was talking to them and like asking questions, they were like, just make sure you have a good SPF. I was like, do you know who you're talking to? I love SPF, okay? This one is really pretty. It gives a nice glowy finish to the skin. I took this on my Seattle trip, and again, not wearing foundation as much, I would put this on and would give me a nice healthy looking glow, a little bit of concealer, a little bit of powder, and I'm out the door. With this one, did I bring this to San Diego? Hawaii. I think it was Hawaii. I've gone on so many trips this year, which I love for me, but I also took this one to Hawaii, and I never had any issues with burning. My face, my neck, I use this on my hands. I never once had any issues with this one burning. So I think this is actually very pretty. I use it a lot. It's great. It's like a little bit of a smaller size, so it's been really great for my travel bags, which has been, you know, a big part of my 2022, which is fabulous, but not one that I really expected to love or love so much, but I'm like, yeah, I need that. And it's nice because I can throw it in my bag too. Also, it's not glass. Like if I'm going to like a day club in Las Vegas, you can't have anything glass. Even I got my Too Faced Born This Way concealer taken away from me, okay? And sometimes they're even weird about like the aerosol cans too. This is great. Pop that in your bag, you're good to go. And at number 1, I actually have false lashes. So these are from Auric. This is Sam Ravindell's brand, and I'm just really impressed with these lashes. I keep wearing them. I was wearing Clouded the other day in my last Really Bad video. I had a very like vibrant poppin' blue eye look on, and I was like, this look just requires lashes, and I wore Clouded from that one. This here is in Glasswing. These lashes are just very easy to use. They're very easy to apply. I like the band because it's not too thick, it's not too heavy. I have more sensitive eyes, so sometimes lashes, if they're really heavy, they can bother me. But I feel like they're very comfortable. They're also not too thin of a band to where it gets really hard to apply them, because that's no fun either. And then when you get the lashes, you actually have a half lash and then a full lash, and it also comes in this compact with a mirror on here. I am definitely more of a half lash girl. I started trying half lashes this year, like on a I'm sure I've tried them in the past, but like on a really consistent basis, because I also really love the Bright Lashes, which is Angela Bright's lash brand. She has really great half lashes too. So I definitely gravitate towards the half lashes, but the great thing about the full lashes is you can either keep it as a full lash if that's what you want, or you can trim it and you can make a half lash. So these are $30, so really $15 for the 2 pairs. And again, if you're someone like me and you're looking for more of a half lash style, you can make these into your own half lash, and then you have 2 pairs for the $30. I'm just really impressed. I've been reaching for these, like, I don't know if I want to say like a lot, because I just don't reach for false lashes in general all that often, but more so when I am doing looks and I'm like, this really does need some lashes, I'm going to the Auric because they're comfortable. I haven't noticed any sort of like eye sensitivity, because I do have a lot of eye sensitivity. I don't notice any of that with the lashes, and I just love that you get the half and the full. That really kind of stood out to me, and I like that it's like a little bit something different. I like the compact, so I really enjoy what Sam did with those lashes, and I would definitely recommend. But other than that, that is going to do it for today's video. I would love to know, have you tried any of the products that I mentioned this month? Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed this one, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video.